Drop a beat. You gotta drop a beat. I need to. I'm gonna rap the intro.
I can't do it.
Welcome to Deskpop. We're talking about potential allegations of child molestation. I don't. That sounds intense. You might wanna listen to this one. And Bryan being sick and weird animatronics.
And even more troubling, the Cats trailer.
Yep. Think this is Deskpop. This is why I shouldn't do the intro. Hey, hey, ya.
How's it going?
I'm alive. I'm very tired. I'm coming off of, I think, 3 hours of sleep, but I'm excited to be back in action.
Nice.
What about you?
I had food poisoning yesterday, and I'm not fully recovered.
Nice.
Yeah.
My stomach has been kind of cramping all day, and I thought that I might have some unwanted, unexpected bowel movements, but it hasn't happened yet. So I think there's hope for me. There's no hope for you.
Yeah, there's no hope for me.
You're already experiencing the end of
End of times. Yes.
what is the Pompeii? The end of Pompeii.
Mm.
The volcano.
I think I'm past that point. I think I'm in the point where I'm just a villager.
You're rebuilding.
I am. Well, no, I'm still not quite at that point. I think the volcanic ash has gotten into my lungs and turned into a concrete mixture, and I have solidified into pure petrified villager ash.
Now, I'm really glad that we're continuing kind of the Pompeii imagery here.
Yes.
However, I'm completely lost on how that translates to...
It's just how I feel.
How... Okay. Cool. The shit is crystallizing and causing you to freeze.
Well, it was up until, I don't know, 30 minutes ago when I got here and started talking to you that I realized that my voice was also gone because I haven't been talking.
Okay. I thought you meant like you were taking a monster shit like 30 minutes ago.
No. I just for today I've been yesterday was the worst. Today I've been fine, but I've been in my home not speaking for the past 2 days.
Vow silence.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah. I do that sometimes when I wake up in the morning. I make a note of, I don't want to say anything to my cat. I want to see how long I can go without saying any words. And
interesting.
Because sometimes it's really weird when I make it I wake up, mess on my phone, get in the shower, drive to work, and then I get into work and I'm there however long until somebody kills my streak and says something. I'm like, I made it to 2 p.m. today.
Hey.
Yeah. So if you ever see me and I don't say hi to you, don't talk to me. You're gonna ruin my.
You're gonna ruin his streak.
Yeah, because I'm obligated to say yes. But if you don't say anything to me, then I don't have to. I don't have to say anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the rule.
That's the rule. Them's the rules.
Well, welcome to Deskpop.
Welcome.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, we are recording on a rather odd day. I
think the last several episodes have been recorded on strange days. I'm very much looking forward to getting our regular Sunday.
Yeah. I am as well, yes.
It's kind of a boring thing to note. I'm just trying to it came into my head. It just felt right to say, and I said it and I don't regret it.
No, I'm fully on board with this because I think I've told you this before, but my weeks are strictly regimented out. I go to trivia on Mondays, Tuesday nights are for myself. Wednesday nights I hang out with my boyfriend. Thursday night I make time for friends. Friday night I hang out with my boyfriend. Saturday are saved for, whatever activity. And then Sunday is recording day. So whenever my week is thrown off or an activity is moved, I just go into a downward spiral. And that's it.
I feel like whenever you're in your 70s...
This is why I got food poisoning.
When you're in your 70s, you're going to be really good at scheduling never-ending sets of doctor's appointments.
Probably, because I'll be like, oh, that's a doctor day.
It's doctor
nope,
day.
Can't
doctor
do anything
day.
on that day. That's a doctor day.
Doctor Day. You should have a doctor named Dr. Day.
Dr. Day.
I actually had a counselor in elementary school, and her name was Miss Goodnight, which is also kind of a scary name, like a children's counselor. She'll put you to sleep.
Just got that bottle of chloroform in her office.
Yeah, sometimes I'd just be telling her about how uncomfortable I was in class, and then I would, time just seemed to fly by.
You just wake up in your bed at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd be wearing different clothes.
Oh no.
Miss Goodnight. Sometimes if you were like really good, I don't remember what the prerequisites were, but you would get chosen by Miss Goodnight.
Oh.
Because she was a counselor. She wasn't like an actual teacher. So seeing her, you'd only see her, when you were needed to talk about something,
You're a troubled youth, like you were.
Sometimes she was affiliated with the GT program, so sometimes you do stuff like that. But if you were really good, you would get like a special star, and only those with the star could go to this like elite lunch thing with her, and she would get fast food, and you could play board games with Miss Goodnight. And there were like some other people, like you'd get, it wasn't just you by yourself, because that would be really weird. I mean, the whole thing is still weird, but
so are we,
it was a nice gesture.
On this podcast right now, are we calling Miss Goodnight out for being a child predator?
No, I'm just saying that sometimes just genuinely nice acts of kindness towards children, there's not like a way to say it without people thinking that they're a child
predator.
They might be a child predator, but she definitely wasn't.
I'm saying she is.
I would be devastated if she was. If
anyone can be. Even Miss Goodnight.
Oh, at my sister's wedding, Chase and his Chase is my sister's now husband.
Your brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law. I can say that. Yeah, I have a brother now. Yeah, my brother. And well, does that make his mom my mother-in-law?
No.
My aunt-in-law?
She's not.
How
He is only your in-law because he's married to your sister, and that's where the line ends.
So his siblings aren't technically considered my siblings.
No. So if you get married to someone, then their parents are your mother-in-law and your father-in-law.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I'm just making sure.
Yeah,
so that.
Yeah.
I don't have to really maintain close connection with really anyone on his side of the family except for
No. You don't even have to know them.
Okay, that's cool.
I mean, be nice to them.
No, I want to be a dick to his whole family. I want to go out of my way. I'm going to egg their homes. What was I saying? Oh, him and his mother had their wedding dance. How the father of the bride and the they danced to R. Kelly, I Believe I Could Fly. And it was just very, Space Jam and child molestation.
Yeah.
My favorite. Yeah. He actually, I think he was charged, yesterday. And
just to be clear, R. Kelly was charged.
Yeah. No. Let me just go down the list of everybody in my life that I can just accuse of being a child molester.
Today's episode, we are busting down doors. I don't know.
All right, we got Miss Goodnight.
We're exposing people.
We got Chase. Who else we getting?
I'm getting them all.
Yeah. I'm not gonna keep going. Okay. I very well can.
Just throw another name out there, Andy.
All right. Well, I had a babysitter
Definitely.
And it was like a daycare. That's what it was, daycare. My parents would drop me off there. I was really young, and me and like a bunch of other kids would like play with toys and stuff. And sometimes the main lady who would take care of us wouldn't be there to take care of us, and so she had her daughter take care of all of us, and she was like a teenager.
That seems not good.
Yeah, and she was really mean. Sometimes I remember her just randomly taking away toys and stuff, and I'd kind of get a little upset, as you do. But other times, and this is where things get weird, and it definitely was weird, sometimes she would take me into like a separate room and do like put makeup on me.
Oh. Okay, that went a way different direction than I was thinking.
It was still weird.
Yeah,
because like it was always me, and it was always separate from the rest of the people in the group. And at the end, she would like wash the makeup off my face, and then I would be released back to where like all the other kids were, and then my parents would pick me up. And I didn't say, like child Andy didn't say a thing. I didn't tell my parents at all. I carried it with me until one day it came as like a flash memory.
They saw the lip gloss. They're like, huh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's a weird, because that's like, is that child abuse?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember being unhappy. I just was like, oh, you're at that like vegetative state when you're a kid of, oh, this is happening now.
Abuse?
Yeah, it's it's very weird. It's very weird.
Yeah. I mean, like, because would you feel that way if it was like a girl child?
I think,
or just like any child that's being like forced to sit somewhere and do something.
I don't know what actual child abuse is defined as.
Let's look it up.
But that's your thing. I always get you to look up. Well, I don't like force you to. It's usually I'll bring something up that leads you to be compelled to look something up. But
child abuse is physical, sexual, and or psychological maltreatment or neglect of a child, especially by a parent or caregiver. So yeah, I mean, I could see that as psychological maltreatment potentially.
Yeah, I think where I was getting at is I'm not sure if I would consider that child abuse, but I would consider that shady. Like when you're getting like one specific child and you're setting them aside.
Well, maybe
into
you just had the right bone structure for it.
You know, people really people say that I have really nice cheekbones.
You did used to be a baby model.
I did. I was a child model.
Yeah. No, a baby model.
I wasn't a baby model. I was a child model. Have I told you that?
No, I was actually just making up a joke.
I was a child model. I walked down runways. I'm not even kidding. I remember that was another thing. Like, yeah, no, I was a child prodigy. I'd walk up and down, and people would give me boxes of really expensive clothes, and I would put them on.
Where did you model?
At the Galleria.
Oh.
They had like these like huge fashion show things at like. It wasn't Macy's. It was like Neiman Marcus, I think.
Yeah.
Neiman Marcus had like these like things, and I remember just being sent like clothes and putting on like 3 or 4 outfits and then walking up and down an aisle, and there was like people taking pictures and all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're learning a lot about me.
I'm learning everything.
Yeah, I was a model.
Hmm.
That's another like thing that it didn't really hit me until much later. I was just driving in my Jeep and I was like,
I was a model.
I was a model. It's hard for me to think that there was a last time I did it, you know. There was a time I went there as a child.
There doesn't have to be.
And that, yeah, I could.
You could show up and do it again. When I was a child, my favorite thing was to, whenever I was going into a store with my mom, find the mannequins, stand with them in a pose, and I remember my mom being terrified, looking for me, not being able to find me, and now it's like her favorite story to tell about me, where she eventually found me and I'm like posing with all the mannequins. I don't know. So that's the extent of my child modeling, you know.
Yeah. That was pretty funny, though. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Just like this kid with like this very wide grin, like, you get it?
Well, and
it's like I'm one of them.
I think the funnier part is that she like genuinely did like walk by me a couple of times. Like she didn't like she didn't like see me and be like, oh, like she genuinely didn't see me a few times and then saw me and was like, what the fuck? Why is my child broken?
I wonder if like, I remember whenever I was really little and when my parents took me to the mall, clothes shopping and stuff, I'd always, those like huge circles of like hangers and the clothes. I'd always go in the middle of them in that little like cave. And I'm just like, this is my own little clubhouse. And I would move from clubhouse, like it's like a teepee, one teepee to the next. I wonder if children still do that, or a lot of them have smartphones now, so they don't have to do stupid things like that to entertain themselves.
Yeah, that's definitely true. They can just play PUBG mobile.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Fortnite. Ha.
You can play fork knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of forks and knives, and this is in direct reference to that one scene of the Cats trailer when the one really creepy cat slams the silverware on the table.
The one really creepy cat?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. One of the very many nightmarish creatures.
Yeah, they're
from
all
the Cats
weird.
Trailer. Let's talk about the Cats trailer.
Yeah.
That happened, I think.
That happened,
and it happened a week ago. So I think enough time has passed for us to all kind of emotionally have processed it.
Processed it, and
we're moving on. But let's just. I think it's time that we talk through it, though. Just
Yeah, we definitely need to talk it out.
Just like my potential child abuse, we have to talk. We have to talk through the Cats trailer in order to. To really heal and move past it.
So what were your initial reactions when you saw this?
I think if you put the idea down on paper and you told me all the producers and the actors and the directors and the writers and even showed me the sound, like I could listen to the soundtrack, I would think that you had a perfect recipe for a very popular movie at the box office, something that I would see as like the next live action Les Mis of everyone sees it, everyone loves it, everyone talks about it, everyone fans over it. But then you actually see it visually and it is nightmare fuel. It's as if they were trying to outdo the Sonic, or it was as if the Sonic movie guys paid them to do that so that people would think less critically of the Sonic movie trailer.
It's kind of the epitome of how I feel about things looking quote unquote realistic. It's just
Do you think
the
that
worst.
They were going? I don't think they were going for.
I think
they were going for like a.
Let me talk it out for you a second.
Okay, sure.
I think they were trying to make it as realistic as possible because all the set elements and everything, like it all looks really, really nice, and it's all to scale to like, they're small cat creatures. I've never seen cats at all. So this is my only, like, I'm familiar with what it is. I always thought it was like a campy, which I always love campy stuff. That's the charm for me, is like, it's a little silly, a little kooky, whatever. Over the top. This, it's like they took all of that out. And obviously, like, it's not realistic in the sense that they are actual cats.
Yeah.
Like no human element at all. They're actual cats. It's not that. They wanted it to be as realistic as it would be if a humanoid being was a cat. That is what they were going for.
The term for those things.
Yes, this monster that they've made. This is what they envisioned as realistic. Oh, if this was really in our world, this is what it would look like, rather than just be an actual cat. You know what I mean? It's a human cat hybrid. and they're fucking weird. They're so fucking weird.
They're scared. They don't have genitals.
I mean, I don't even care about that.
No, it's like it's just weird because they're just these. It mimics the muscles and the anatomy of a human, but it has fur. Yeah. But the crevices, as in the butt crack and stuff that you'd think would be there, isn't there. There's nothing. It's like that scene in Black Mirror when the SS Callister. Have you seen that one?
No.
There's like they're all in like a computer simulation or something, and one of them like pulls her pants down, and since they're in a computer simulation, they don't need like anything down there, so it's all like a Barbie, just smooth, and it just really creeped me out. And the same thing, it's like it creeps me out in the same way that this does. Like that's just freaky. And also you have the small humanoid things that you described as your worst fear. And it has now come to life.
This is exactly what I would point to when someone asks now, Bryan, if you're scared of small humanoid things that are not dolls, what else could that be?
Just imagine one of those things running at you full speed.
Yeah, imagine.
Like in a full sprint.
No, imagine it's dark. You're going to go get a glass of water from the kitchen. You walk out into your hallway, and illuminated by the pale glow of the moon is this tiny little weird human-shaped creature. Starts walking to you. Like, what do you do? Fucking weird. I don't like that.
I just imagine it standing on like the kitchen counter, and then you walk in and you turn the light on and you look over and it's like right next to you, and then it leaps on you and you're trying to like get it off of you, and then like more come out of like nooks and crannies. And
there's always more. That's something about that fear, I guess, is there's always like a bunch of those things.
Yeah, there's. Yeah. You want to know what else is just really creepy? And I'm trying to figure out why exactly it was so scary. But have you seen the live action, or I guess it's the only or have you seen Krampus?
No. I've seen a review of it and I've seen clips of it.
I'm adding that to your list of movies. That's one of my favorite. I have the art book for it. I have the prequel novel for it. I tried to buy like a statue of the Krampus guy from it, and I could not find it. They're really hard to find. But one of my favorite movies of all time. But there's this giant Jack-in-the-Box in that movie.
Yes.
And it like leaps out, and it has like this really long tube. But this thing is like large enough to where it's like able to swallow children. And it's this like clown face that's like porcelain. But it unfolds, and then there's like a fleshy inside with all these teeth. And it like eats children like a snake. Like you can see the kids. And that also freaks me out. But back to cats.
Back to cats.
So many popular names are in this.
Yeah.
Like everybody attached is just so good.
Well, cats, like you said, on paper, Cats is...
It just seems like a surefire win.
Well, it's a Broadway performance that's been like... I think it was it's one of the highest earning, longest running. You would think like, oh, people are going to love it. People are definitely going to go see it.
Yeah.
And then, it's fucking horrifying.
I think I need to look up the trailer now to see where the dislikes are. Because originally, the dislikes on like the first day I remember looking at it, it was like 22,000 dislikes as opposed to like maybe 9,000 likes. I'm very surprised that it hasn't broken any records as far as the most dislikes in a day or most dislikes in a certain period of time or most dislikes in general.
I just pulled up the trailer and fuck, that face scares the shit out of me.
Which YouTube channel is it under right now?
Universal Pictures.
Okay, yeah, that was the one I was keeping up with. What's the like-dislike ratio?
Like is 105,000. Dislike is 288,000.
They probably took that down and reposted it. I wouldn't be surprised.
I have no idea.
Man, 100,000 people liked what they saw. That's scary. There's going to be so much just really weird pornography of these things.
Yeah. For me, it's like,
It's like the new Avatar.
I can deal with human eyes on this kind of creature, but it's really the nose and lips that are kind of the crux of the issue for me.
The lips look like they're kind of floating on the cat bodies.
Yes. It's like a Mr. Potato Head lip
Yeah.
stuck on it. It's very strange. The eyes I can kind of like deal with it, but the lips and the nose is also very jarring to me because cats have a very specific nose.
Yeah.
So this one image that I'm looking at is like, it's just a human nose. Like they didn't.
Yeah.
Let me look up a picture of the cats on Broadway.
What's weird is also just their movement. Their movement is so unhuman and smooth.
Right. Well,
Whereas human movement is a lot more like rigid and
I think they said the lead actress is like a ballerina or something. It's like that was the choice. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the same. The reason why the nose and the lips don't stand out on the cats, like the Broadway performance, is it's like it's just not a highlighted piece of the look. Like the hair sticking straight off of them, and it's all very silly looking, and the nose and the lips kind of have the same color makeup on as the rest of the face. And in this new one, the lips have like a very definite lip color. It's pink. It stands out on the faces of these cats. It's very weird.
it's very terrifying.
Is Jennifer Hudson the lead?
I don't recall. I
me
think the
see.
lead is a new actress.
Okay.
I don't think she's been in anything before.
Okay.
Taylor Swift's in it. And Rebel Wilson.
Yeah.
I don't like her.
That was the cherry on top, because Rebel Wilson is kind of
Everybody was in
she's
this.
kind of like that Melissa McCarthy, like they both occupy the same space. Like, oh, you're a fat woman, and what's funny is that you're gonna fall and spill something, or you're gonna, like that's always the joke. It's always slapstick. It's always, and so I'm like, there's no fucking way. I see Rebel Wilson. I'm like, there's no fucking way. In the trailer, they highlight it's so out of place, like with all the other stuff. A fucking joke about her like accidentally getting caught in a mousetrap. Do you see that?
Yeah.
That part. It's so weird because nothing else is funny, but then they're like, oh, and then Rebel Wilson. Don't worry, there's comedic moments like this one where she's fat and she gets stuck in a mousetrap.
It reminds me of I think Rebel Wilson is a perfect combination of like the worst traits of both Amy Schumer and Melissa McCarthy.
Interesting.
Because whenever I see her, it's like she's either, oh, I'm really fat, watch me fall down a bunch of stairs, and like, haha, that's really funny. Or she's talking about like, oh, my vagina is really smelly, and oh, I'm talking about my body parts. and I say that knowing that I was just talking about
You were asking about the dicks and balls of cats.
Well, I was just talking about poop in the very beginning of this.
That too,
I was like, poop.
You're a very crass gentleman.
Yeah. So I don't know. The sense of humor is kind of the same, and I haven't really seen, the only other thing I've seen her in is Pitch Perfect. So.
Well, so I guess in Pitch Perfect, that was one of my first experiences with Rebel Wilson, and I thought it was kind of funny and charming, and like, okay, the second one, like, okay, still funny. I think I saw, there's 3 Pitch Perfects, right?
Yeah.
I think I saw the third. Maybe I didn't. But
I don't think I saw the third. I need to finish the trilogy.
All I know is that the movies I've seen her in since, I understand the actors and actresses get cast for specific things,
Like typecast.
and it's not always their fault.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've got to take work if you want to make money. But like, Jesus, like, do writers have no other like creativity to like do anything else?
Well, look at every new Adam Sandler movie. Every new Adam Sandler movie that comes out on Netflix breaks the Netflix viewership record of the time.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I think the last 2 records that were broken on
Why?
Netflix were out. And so I think there's just so many dumb people who just that's like, it's
I
so
get that
easy to tell that
that's
this is
the
a
lowest
joke, so.
the lowest form of comedy. It's like, yeah, it's safe comedy too, because it's like, it's not gonna offend anyone. It's only gonna be like, oh, haha, like.
Oh, I think it's offensive. I think people are just used to it. Maybe they're desensitized.
Well,
to,
I mean offensive in the way that it's not gonna like make people outraged.
Yeah.
Like, it could be actually offensive, but it's like, it's something kids could watch. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. I don't know.
I remember
I don't like Adam Sandler.
I remember I don't like it.
But I love the female Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. The one I hate it. The Peter Rabbit movie, there was a scene that was really controversial where Peter Rabbit, like, the guy who's trying to catch Peter Rabbit has a blueberry allergy. And so the huge joke was that they put blueberries in a slingshot and like shot a bunch of blueberries into the guy's mouth. And he has an allergic reaction and his throat swells up and he's like choking. And he has to get an EpiPen or something to keep himself from suffocating. And it was played off as this really funny joke in this Peter Rabbit movie. And a whole bunch of people started like protesting it. There was like a controversy, and they released a thing on their social media platforms like saying, hey, this isn't okay. Like, kids, please don't. If someone has an allergy, do not try to do this.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there's a lot of people I know. I feel like I didn't before the last couple of years know many people with allergies, but now I like know a bunch, and I feel like, yeah, that's,
it's like,
they're
it's
inviting
so
children to like, if someone says they have an allergy, like, it'll be okay, just like, it'll be funny, so do it, like, make them eat this weird shit without their knowledge.
They're rivals, so it's okay.
Yeah,
no, it's
Jesus.
Yeah, I think violence is kind of played off, and like that is just really like, damn.
It's
That's
just
hardcore.
It's so weird to me because there's so many funny things in the world, and
yeah,
we land on these things that are just not.
What? Okay, Brian. What's not funny about Adam Sandler in a wig, talking in a high pitched voice, pretending to be a woman?
That one might be funny. I haven't seen it.
What's not fun? Oh, you haven't
that one might be unintentionally funny. Like, that one might be like a so bad it's funny.
The
funny.
Jack and Jill movie?
Yeah, that one might be.
Like, what's not funny about that? You know, Adam Sandler just busts out a weird voice, and, you know, I'm on board.
Yeah.
I think that, you know.
I will say that I'm a giant hypocrite because I watched the one with him and Jennifer Aniston most recently on Netflix. It was all right.
Oh, my God.
It was okay.
Have you seen The Cobbler?
No. What's that?
Okay, so Adam Sandler, it's a Netflix one. He plays a cobbler. Are you familiar with like what a cobbler is? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't
a pie maker.
Until this. No.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Okay. Wow. You're really playing with my emotions, Brian. But people, like really famous people and like just different people come in with their shoes and he has to fix them up, and he jokingly puts on a pair of one of their shoes, and then he turns into that person and gets to live that person's life for a day, or until he takes off the shoes. So he starts doing this, and then like at the very end of the movie, like the last, he learned some lesson. I don't remember what it is,
Sure,
but
don't try on other people's shoes. You're a weirdo.
he at the very end of the movie, for the last 5 minutes, you find out that there's like a secret society of cobblers, and it's like Assassin's Creed, where they've been doing it for generations, and they're like fighting crime or something. And there's like people who own laundromats, and they're like another tribe, and they also have some power. And then there's like a bunch of bakers who own bakeries, and they're all like have. So it's just like this. They introduce you to this whole world of these societies, and then it just the credits roll, and you're like, what? But that also reminds me. So you know how I discovered Reddit a while back, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. 1 second. I found this. It's a subreddit, and it's called Tip of My Tongue. Have you heard of it?
Uh-huh.
Well, I found this one, and 1 second. I gotta. Okay. So this guy on Reddit is describing a movie, and people are trying to help him figure out what movie it is. This is the plot of said movie. A trans time traveler falls in love with himself pre-transition, then kills his future self that became a terrorist.
What?
Again, trans time
So
traveler.
hold on, is this a real movie
Yes.
that I'm supposed to guess?
Yes, trans time traveler falls in love with himself pre-transition, and then kills his future self that becomes a terrorist. And it came out between 2010 and 2014.
I don't know.
Yeah. The movie's called Predestination.
Oh.
But what movie is that? Like, what?
I don't know.
Yeah, I need to see this movie. That just
Seems not good. Like, unless there's like some
What is
content
that?
in there that
What
kind of makes
plot
me
is
feel
that?
like trans people are evil kind of thing.
I don't know what, like, I think is a trans time traveler goes back in time, falls in
Yeah.
love with himself pre-transition, and then I guess he teams up with them or something to kill his future self, who is a terrorist.
Yeah, that's weird. That's a weird one.
Yeah, no, it's very strange, and I need to see it. It's on my list.
Well, you report back on that. Let me know how it is.
I will, and if it's really good, I'll add it to your list, and then you'll never watch it.
Yep.
Yep. I hope that one of your trivia nights is just full of questions regarding things that I've recommended you to try that
Yeah.
you never tried ever,
Maybe.
and you get them all wrong, and your rival group gets them all right.
It's all Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I recommend good things to you, Brian. You just need to give me a chance.
So I'll be honest with you.
I don't give a fuck about you.
It's not any offense to the things that you recommended to me, and I have even wanted to watch Edward Scissorhands by myself occasionally, but the desire and I don't have a lot of time. I do. I totally do. I totally have time, but I don't. My desire to carve out enough time to watch this movie versus my desire to do anything else has just not been high enough. And I'm the kind of person that I can't force myself to do something like that. I have to like very organically want to watch something to sit down and watch it. I can't like put something on and just like take it in.
That's what she said.
And also, I've never checked kind of the next barrier to entry is I haven't ever checked to see if it's on Netflix or anything. So the next time I have that desire, what I'm going to do is go check on Netflix. And if it's not there, then that's going to start the process all over again. And I'm going to have to, you know, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I just finished watching what is it? The Boys on Amazon Prime.
My mom told me she liked that, or she was watching it.
It was really good. It was, I think it's one of the best representation, or it's one of the best superhero related things I've seen in a while. I mean,
Yeah.
other than the MCU, I think MCU is just very in itself on the whole superhero thing, but this uses superheroes as like commentary on, you know, real world ideologies and stuff. I think it was pretty good. I liked it. The season doesn't really end though. It's one of those things where the last episode of season 1 just feels like any other episode, as in like, oh well, I'll just watch the next episode and see what happens next. Oh wait, there's not another episode because that's gonna be season 2. So there's like that slap in the face at the end. There's like no closure on literally anything.
I mean, I kind of prefer that from season to season. Now, if it's the finale episode, like the end, then I want some closure. But if it's like going from the end of one season, I don't really need that ever.
Well, I kind of look at it as from like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Each chapter,
I love that movie.
Each chapter or like season focused on like a different region, so it kind of it gave you some closure on, all right, well, they're leaving this region, they've learned everything they needed to learn in this area, but the overall story is continuing. There's several threads to still follow and stuff, so that's fine. But with this, there's like not a lot of threads that close. I can't even think of one thread that just, or any resolution that happens. It just all just continues to happen. So there's like this, if you're gonna make a one season thing, you're limited by episodes. I would try to put in some arc that allows me to tell the difference between season 1 and season 2. Like, oh, season 1's about this and season 2's about this, as opposed to, because like, why else are you separating them, I guess.
Well, do you think they did this because this is the first season of it, right?
Yeah.
So do you think they did this so now where you would otherwise watch it and go like, yeah, that was good, and maybe not talk about it with anyone, now you're watching it, you're talking about it with me, you're telling me you wish there was resolution, now it's kind of getting me intrigued, maybe I'll go watch it, maybe it'll get picked up for another season, like that kind of thing?
Maybe, but I wouldn't see the difference between that and how Stranger Things works, where each season of Stranger Things ends, but it also leaves one or two threads open and a teaser for the next season. So
right.
It still leaves you plenty to speculate and talk about at the end.
Is it a story-driven show?
Yeah, very much so.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, it follows, I guess, maybe 5 characters.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, 5 like separate storylines, I guess. Yeah, it's really good. I think it's one of those things where that world's version of Superman has a much cooler costume than actual Superman.
Superman's costume sucks.
You can't change anything about it. Like, if you change anything about Superman's costume, you'd have to change everything else, because it works, but only it only
works because we are so trained to see it. That's the only reason.
Well, I think because every time I see the Superman suit and they take the underwear off and they add the red belt, I'm just like, that's still just.
Well, I'm just thinking about
me.
I hate the colors. It's just all like the primary colors. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Which Superman? Like, are you thinking of like the gritty rebooted Superman where he has like that navy blue suit with the red?
I'm thinking just like Superman, Justice League Superman with red, blue, and yellow.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. It's
I hate it.
yeah, I'd actually be interested to see what would you're in charge of Superman's character design, and
Okay.
you don't have to worry about any fan backlash if you
Sure,
change
sure.
stuff. What do you change about Superman's suit?
I get rid of the character.
No, you can't do that. You have to just change the suit design.
I don't like the S on the front. I don't like the color scheme. I would give him a symbol instead of just like a letter.
Uh-huh.
I don't like the S. I get that it's a recognizable symbol and it's everyone recognizes
there would
it.
be no backlash.
Right,
You can-
right,
in
right.
this, you could just change anything you want. No one would care.
I would probably give him, instead of an S, probably like some sort of like because he gets his power from like the sun and stuff. I would give him some sort of like sun symbol instead of that S, and then I get that the red and blue is kind of America, but that doesn't make a ton of sense given that he's not American really.
Yeah.
So I would probably just scrap that, make it I don't know, keep the yellow, maybe I don't know, some other color there, orange, I don't know, something that like worked with it rather than against it.
I think it would be cool if Superman didn't really have a costume to begin with.
Just naked.
He kind of just has regular clothes,
Yeah.
and then he just starts flying around. He's like, all right, I'm Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'd be getting rid of his whole secret identity thing, but I also think that would be kind of cool. Just
Yeah,
like the Hulk, he could be
sure.
wearing anything, and he just hulks out and just blah. Like Superman just, he's just in a suit, and then he just like, all right, man, starts flying around like Goku. Maybe he takes his shirt off. He doesn't want to tear his weighted clothes. Yeah.
Yeah. I recently saw a very scary cyborg animatronic. So
The Six Flags Justice League ride?
yes.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
It's a good looking animatronic, but the problem is all in the movements.
That's a good looking animatronic.
I wanted to fuck it.
Oh man.
But no, so it looks really good, and I feel like they just over programmed the expressions and everything, and I get it. It's for theater. You're trying to make it like bigger than it actually is, so
Yeah.
people can see you all the way in the back, kind of thing. Except for the line, the only place you see it is like right in front of it because you pass right by it, and you can't see it before that. So really, it's just for you right there.
Yeah.
And also, every second he is moving. So it's not like a real person where they're like, sometimes you're standing by idly and just kind of blinking your eyes, or you're listening and you're not moving. Every second that someone is talking to him or he is talking, he's turning, he's looking up, he's looking down. He's like, it's all this weird movement, and like while he's speaking, it doesn't make any sense why he's doing these things. I don't know. I think the problem is it's especially bad when other people are talking to him, like when Batman talks to him.
Is there a Batman animatronic?
No, Batman and Superman are just on the screen.
Okay, so the cyborg.
It's just a cyborg
is
animatronic.
Okay.
And it looks very nice, like I said. But instead of like, what I would have had him done is take his hand and put it up to his ear like he's holding an earpiece or something. Because I think that's an easy, like he's doing something.
Yeah.
But it's not like a whole lot of movement. But no, every time he's just doing weird shit the whole time they're talking. But yeah, that's that.
Me. This is when you're talking to me. I'm just like,
This is something
whoa.
Andy does all the time.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Well, I think I've had just about enough of you, Bryan.
Thank God.
I think I've had just.
I was
about
hoping
enough.
you'd say it so I didn't have to.
Yeah, so it's time for us to part ways until Sunday.
I bid you adieu.
Sunday. Yeah, so thanks for listening to my potential allegations of sexual abuse.
And my very sick voice.
Sick. This has been Deskpop.
This has been Deskpop.
Life
yes.
finds a way.
Sometimes.
I don't know. Yeah. I'll just see you later. Bye.
See you later.